Well, I've heard lots of things in the public through Facebook and conspiracies and stuff, such as implanting tracking devices in you or causing birth defects or sterilization or, things such as that. There's no truth to that, no evidence to suggest that at all. I've admitted some patients. I cover a couple of ventilator units, and I've admitted some young people in their 40s that have had issues from COVID, such as throwing emboli, strokes, and still on a ventilator and currently being weaned off. And these people had no previous health issues at all. So, it's rare, but it happens, and it happens much more frequently and common than any side effect that we've seen from a vaccine so far. I received the Pfizer vaccination here at the Glebe, and it was pretty much just like any other vaccine. Had a sore arm shortly after the first one, and no symptoms at all. And after the second one, I did develop some fatigue that was noticeable, and it completely went away in 24 hours. It was like someone flipped a switch. Freedom is a huge benefit. Protection of yourself and your loved ones. It's been shown just through what we've seen so far that the vaccine is very effective, and we've seen a dramatic decrease in infections in nursing homes, and I can't encourage people enough to get this vaccine so we can get herd immunity in the community and to decrease the risk of spreading COVID within the facility here, and again, to just try to normalize the situation, get back to a normal form of life so families can come in and out, and patients, we can get the mask off and return to normalcy.
I think one of the key factors in deciding whether or not you get the vaccine is, if you have a primary care physician, is to establish a good rapport with them and have an open and honest conversation. But really, there are hardly any reasons. Majority of people who are immunocompromised, who have cancer, who have diabetes, a lot of conditions, can still get the vaccine. You do not catch COVID-19 from getting a COVID-19 vaccination. What it is how I describe it to a lot of people. It's, I'm a former educator, right? So I think about it as a pre-test and a post-test, right? So when you see a pre-test, you kind of don't really know what to expect. You're just kind of looking around at the questions. But then after you get a little bit of learning and education, the next time that post-test comes around, you're going to be ready to go and know how to answer. And that's what your body is doing. So the first injection, if you get a 2-dose series, is just kind of like your body just kind of figuring out what to do. And then with the second vaccination, your body's like, okay, we know what to do. We're going to respond. So it's just your body responding in anticipation of an actual COVID-19 infection. Transparency is extremely important on all of our parts. And I think one of the key factors in transparency is, while you may receive information from your employer or you might attend a town hall, it's very important to do research on your own and make sure that you look at reputable sources. For instance, the CDC, listen to reputable newscasts like NPR, go to your local health department website and do your own research, so therefore you can verify this information that is being told to you via your employer or town halls or any other method that you might come across vaccine information.
I see it as something we do for somebody else. It's a gift that we give to people that we probably don't even know, so that we can get rid of this virus communally.
Peace of mind is a wonderful thing. And you have to realize that in healthcare, what you do outside of your job, you bring it into your job. The residents are here, are just great, and that's very important for me to keep them safe.
Even if you're not particularly worried about getting the virus or getting sick or anything, it's nice to just not have to worry about anything, because there can always be something that goes wrong. The vaccine's just another level. On top of the masks and everything, it's nice to have just like another layer of something that kind of keeps you away from getting hurt or hurting other people.
It's a mental relief. It's like a weight's lifted off of you. You don't have to be looking around the corner and see if there's a COVID sneaking up on you.
It was easy, easy peasy. I don't even know that I felt the needle go through.
And the after effects was very, very mild. I had a slight headache and felt tired for the day, and at the end of the day I was ready to go again. So,
other than a sore arm, it was no different than any other day. Just had a little bit of a sore arm after the vaccine both times, maybe a little bit of a headache, but no different than any other flu shot or any other vaccine I would get normally.
It was fairly painless, much like a flu shot. Second time around was pretty much the same. I think there was a little more soreness in my arm and probably headache for a day, but that was the only side effects I had.
And I felt the same. They were very efficient. The first time I had no soreness in the arm at all, a little bit the second time, and just a little bit of feeling achy the second time, but for a very short time.
I had like a minor fever and some chills, but that's just my immune system's way of trying to practice fighting the virus. But other than that, I didn't really have any other side effects from the vaccine.
I spent 30 years in the Air Force. I've had a lot of shots, and I thought it was a piece of cake.
I encourage folks to do it. I'm so glad that most of the community here has done it, and anybody who's hesitant, look at us, we survived.
Despite all of the questions that I had, still have on, has it been, do we know what's gonna happen? I finally said, I've got to do what I can. If I don't do it and I get COVID and spread it, I'm never gonna forgive myself. But even if I get the vaccine and get it, then at least I've done everything I can, and I can sleep well at night and know that I've done everything I can to protect our residents.